Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft.
What's up, everybody? Kinetic here. This is the first time I've played Priest in a very, very long time, and I'm playing a new form of control deck that uses Deathlord as almost like a centerpiece of really frustrating the hell out of people. This deck I faced off against a couple of times while I was playing as my my aggressive face warrior, my hunter deck, and I think I fought this deck like a couple of times, like maybe 2 times or something like that. It was absolutely frustrating the hell out of me because, well, I mean, tanks or cards with taunt, I should say, as a general, you know, experience are a pain in the ass to get by. As an aggro deck, as an aggro hunter, for example, with the Deathlord, he has such an insanely high amount of HP as well. Like, even with me trying to put down a lot of minions to try and take on the Deathlord, it's still quite difficult and requires really a lot of you throwing stuff at the Deathlord in order to try and take it down. And even then, it doesn't mean anything because you just burn through so much, and even if you can try and get on the board again after the fact, chances are the priest has already set up a bunch of things. Oh, he's hexing my Deathlord. This could be a problem. Chances are, like, the priest still has so much more than just that one Deathlord, like that they put down in answer to whatever you've got coming next. Not to mention that this deck also features 2 Deathlords, so if you can get those out like early, mid-game or something like that, have those Deathlords, it's really frustrating, I think, actually, against a lot of different scenarios, especially aggro decks. So this is my first game with this type of control deck for Priest, and I was actually kind of looking forward to changing gears because I have been playing probably too much aggressive decks, too many aggressive decks recently, that my mentality about playing Hearthstone was so much like go, 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 that it was actually causing me to make misplays because I wasn't thinking about, like, necessarily what I was doing so much. It just became me really recklessly throwing myself at enemies. I was up till probably 2 AM last night trying to play Hearthstone as a hunter with that deck, and I was making some adjustments here and there and stuff like that. Like, I think I swapped in, like, temporarily or whatever, tried to get the heal bot in there, and with the adjustments that I made, I still felt like I was climbing, but I also felt like I'm being completely reckless, and I need to probably take a step back and change gears away from playing hunter. So I started to play my old paladin deck, which I thought was really fun, using, for example, muster for battle and the quartermaster and stuff like that. It was a little bit slower, and you had to think more about what you were doing. And I thought to myself, as I was thinking this, I was like, I like this. I like that. I'm kind of slowing my pace down, and also, you know, the more decks that you play, the more classes that you play, I really think that makes you a much better player as well, because you get to not just see what, you know, people are throwing at you, but you actually get to try it out for yourself, understand the mechanics, and then that makes you better at facing against those decks as well, or just those classes in general. I think the more you know, and despite how much I hate Zombie Chow, I decided to go ahead and put it in this deck anyway. I saw it, like, I got this list, this deck list, by the way, from, I believe his name is Subtle on IcyVeins. I go over there to kind of preview, like, a lot of decks, and then use what I see there to base off of what I'm going to put together, you know, and usually I don't have the same cards, so I have to kind of customize it myself. Which is why I don't usually give that much credit, like, when I'm doing these Hearthstone videos, because by the time I make all my changes, it's not even the same deck anymore. But in this case, it is card for card the same deck. Definitely check out the deck list in the, or actually, I'll put a link to the IcyVeins page, so that way you guys can see it for yourself. And yeah, card for card, that's exactly what this is. We'll see if Zombie Chow actually, I'm surprised to even see it. because it almost never comes out to play for me this early. We'll see if it actually does what it's supposed to do. But yeah, with kind of throwing myself like an idiot at opponents, Huntard style, like it started to wear on me, and I changed to Paladin. Paladin was a nice change. Kind of having to think more tactically about what cards I was playing. And then as I was looking at this priest deck, and I'm kind of reading the description, I was like, wow, this could be a difficult deck to play, but it's actually really not. You just have to, well, RNG definitely is a big part. You have to kind of think about, first of all, who your opponent is, and then try to, you know, understand as quick as you can what kind of deck are they going to play. Are they going to play a control type? Are they going to play an aggressive type or something like that? That's really important to understand as you are right at the very beginning of the game, like trying to decide what cards that you want. Now, Deathlord, I think, is a card that you want pretty much, like, regardless of what you're facing off against. You probably want that card, like, fairly early, if not as early as possible as you can get it, but definitely against aggressive decks. So if I see, for example, a hunter as I'm playing priest, I'll be praying for that Deathlord. I'll be praying for it, because that thing is just, it's a huge, like, iron wall in front of an aggressive deck. It's really frustrating. There's some familiar cards in here that that I'm used to playing. This is the first time I'm actually playing a Light Bomb, and the reason why Light Bomb is in this deck is kind of as it was described in the description, that it's like an insurance policy, he calls it, for when your Deathlord does go down, or yeah, when he goes down and then your opponent gets the card, the Light Bomb can be a way of helping to clear out, possibly, hopefully, whatever it is that they got, plus maybe whatever other enemies are left on their side as well. But this is a very different type of priest deck than what I'm normally used to playing. But then again, used to playing is I really use in the lightest way, because I have not played priest in, man, a long time, it feels like now. Very, very long time. I'm thinking about, no. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that Light Bomb just yet. If I do, let's see what else he plays, actually. Oh, yeah, I think it would be a good idea to use that Light Bomb now. Light Bomb, I think, would be a fairly good play right now as well, because then I can get rid of both of those heavy-hitting minions that he has, and hopefully keep Theresian or Thessarian, whatever, I can never get his name right, alive a bit longer, so he can keep making my cards cheap.
Is someone injured?
Let's do this. Another Light Bomb. Okay. Well, the cool thing is my Emperor has already made the first Light Bomb that I have super cheap, so I think I'll play that. There go those guys. I did deal damage to myself, but survived it, so that's cool. If I can only get one more use out of the Emperor here, then that'll be good. So I will hit him in the face rather than get rid of that totem, I think. There we go. It's I can't stress enough how nice it is, actually. Like I really find aggressive decks a lot of fun. That's why up to this point I've been almost like in a way aggressively looking for aggressive decks to play for every class, because it's just it's fun, it's fast, and like there goes the Emperor. The amount of time invested, even if your win rate is still only 50-50 or something like that, chances are with my aggressive decks, like I'll do 2 games in the time it takes me to do one probably of these slower games, and so I don't know, it almost feels the same in a way. the amount of games you can play in the time it takes to do a slow one, like even with a lesser win rate. Yeah.
Right away.
I want to keep the cleric alive if I can, to try and feed me cards here now, because I have some nice options here, but not for the situation that I'm facing off against right. Okay. Not for the situations I'm facing off against. Well, there goes the second second toad. Okay. Well, I could light bomb again. Yeah, I could light bomb, or I could sit in like maybe eat 6/6, eat that 6 damage, and then heal through it later with my heal bot. I don't know. With the amount of cards that he has, and judging by the type of deck it feels like I'm facing off against, the light bomb feels like a waste. So yeah, I'll go with the power word. Hopefully he doesn't have like some other mega enemy in his hand. That's not so bad. See the totems, the way he see the way he can stack these totems and probably smaller minions is what I want to save the light bombs for, or Holy Nova. I love this card. The Shadow Priest is fun. I've played it before, it like, again, long time ago when I was playing as a priest, and it's quite fun. It's quite fun. The one of the combos you might see already here is you can use the Shrinkmeister and the Shadow Priest there to make a card cheaper and then steal that card. In this case, I didn't have to worry about doing that. Those totems weren't that big of a deal, but he also had a 3/2 with it as well, so it was like that's like the minimum. Oh man, now I wish I kind of saved that. That's alright, we've got Light Bomb, so... Oh, here's another Holy Nova as well. That's what I was thinking too. I've got another Holy Nova here somewhere. Lucky that I pulled it again. Let me stop humming and... man. Thinking Holy Nova again. Like I could have thrown the 2/4 at the 6/2, but I really want to keep it because I don't have much in the way of minions that I can put down here. Whoops. Shrinkmeister. This is only for the turn, so it's kind of a weird way to play the card, but I do want to get more minions, like, while the board is relatively clear. Is that a taunt? No, okay. And I certainly don't want to use my heal bot until I actually need healing, so I consider that the healing from that the priority rather than the fact that it's a minion. Oh, there goes Shrinkmeister. Oh, Deathlord. This is gonna be nice. It's late game now, but this should still prove to be useful. I really don't want that 6/5 here, because that will make it probably make it really easy soon for him to be able to take out this Death Lord, so now he's top decking again. And whatever totems he can throw at me. This should be enough. Ah, there's a nice card to have right there. Finally I can hit him in the face some. So the mind control obviously is what you want to hold and save for big powerful cards, or at the very least for you to be able to steal something from your opponent and then use that to create a situation that they can't really recover or you know, reply to in a way. Man, this card is perfect for those. For those feral spirits, man.
Not quite what we planned.
Yeah. For whatever reason, I thought that was, I don't know. So far, this deck seems to be playing exactly as I was expecting it to. He's getting that card really late, obviously. These Death Lords are just as frustrating as I remember them being when I was on the other side as a face hunter, like just throwing everything at that stupid Death Lord, and still I didn't get by it. Like the first time I faced off against it, oh wow, he got lucky with that. Like the first time I faced off against this deck, this priest deck as a hunter, I couldn't even get past the Death Lord at all. I didn't have my owl, if that's what you're wondering. Velen's Chosen comes in at an interesting time. I can empower the taunt card here.
Obey.
This way I've got a nice strong tank. I can heal those two that I just damaged back up. Starting with this guy. Okay. So I definitely have the advantage here. He's like at half health. He's got nothing on the board. He's top decking. And I've also got Healbot and Mind Control on my side. So it's looking really good for me right here. I'm thinking what I might do. It'd be nice to have the spell power, but I don't have any spell power cards anyway to take that dragon to make good use of it. I think I might mind control the Yeti here. Then I can use that against him now. The dragon's dead. So now I have 4 and he has nothing. He's got to be pissed by now. Oh, there it is. Well played, man. So that was this priest deck versus obviously a slower shaman deck. The test will be if this deck can do what I think or what I feel like it does, have experienced it does against an aggressive deck, a more aggressive deck. In that case, both of us were taking our sweet ass time to make sure that we weren't making any mistakes. I could tell like he was really thinking carefully about what he was doing, like earlier in the game, and then later on he was just doing whatever he could, and that's when you know you've got the edge on your enemy. What I find, again, attractive about the aggressive decks, particularly the Hunter deck, is you're going so blistering fast. You're making these decisions most of the time in a very small fraction of the amount of time that you're actually given, that I think sometimes when I'm playing against people, they get caught up in that speed. Like, whoa, he's already done? Oh, nice, I got a Death Lord. Okay, cool. We're in good hands now. The other cards, well, the Dark Cultist will be good. but I surely didn't need a mind control this early. I think people get maybe a bit caught up on how aggressive you are, and it might throw off their game about like them thinking about what they're doing just a little bit. So what are you doing? Mirror image, okay. So I think that this this mage seems, I wouldn't call it aggressive yet, but certainly is investing with their deck what seems to be early game. I don't really... I'm not sure if I really want to play the Deathlord yet, even though you should, most of the time, I think. Consider highly, especially for anybody putting minions on their side early game, to go ahead and put the Deathlord. What I'm afraid of is that the mage might somehow be able to cripple that card. So I'm gonna put down the cultist as sort of like a decoy almost. Like see what the mage does in response to that. Because I don't mind losing that card. I do mind losing the Deathlord though. Okay, mage doesn't have anything. So then I feel much more comfortable about putting the Deathlord down. So that's that's what we'll do here. And the sweet thing is, I can, if I want to, I can use the cultist as a way of empowering the Deathlord even further. Piloted Shredder. I can't remember the last time I saw a deck in Hearthstone that doesn't have Piloted Shredder. That's how popular that card is right now. Like, pretty much every single one. I just got this card recently, actually, from a free pack, the Shadow Madness. And then it turns out it's used for this priest deck, so I felt pretty lucky about that. It was fate. I've got options here. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do here. I want to get rid of the Shredder. But I also really dislike this card.
My fate is sealed.
So we can get rid of the tank and we can use this minion to kill the other mage's minion. So he just lost 2 because of that exchange. That felt pretty good. More mirror images. Yeah, I'm feeling, yes. I'm feeling like this mage deck could certainly be considered aggressive. He didn't get the effects he wanted. He got Wind Fury on a taunt card. Yeah, that sucks. I think we want to empower the Deathlord here. Keep him going. He's doing good. Heal him up. Nice. Okay, so now if I want to, I can throw that Deathlord at even higher attack minions here in the future. I'm going to shrink the attack of this guy so that way I can use my cultist to attack without dying. Okay. And then I can use my Deathlord and go ahead and get rid of one of these tanks. I keep calling them tanks because, I mean, really that's what they are, right? Like, they're taunt cards, but they're really tank in their role, is what they are. Argent Commander again. I haven't seen this card before much, and now the past 2 guys I'm fighting both have this. And, oh wow, you lucky. You so lucky. So what I've heard is that, you know, most of the time the result from that Deathlord Death Rattle is that, you know, your opponent won't get much that you can't deal with. In this case, that's kind of a big deal. But I got really lucky again here with drawing my Deathlord again already. This is fantastic. So what I think what I want to do here, I'll give Velen's Chosen to the Cultist, so that way I can go ahead and use him now. I would use it on the Deathlord, but he's resting right now. I want to take out this this heavy tank while I can. Because I still have to get by another tank, and there's that 4-2, which is kind of a big deal.
Put this apple on your head.
Knife Juggler, huh? I think, oh. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of low-cost cards from this Mage deck, so certainly this is a more aggressive Mage, which is nice. I'm glad I'm fighting against an aggressive deck with this Priest. So far, it's pretty even. Well, actually, it's not. It is, but it isn't. I've got all these cards in my hand where the Mage is. What I see pretty much is what he's got for right now. With the tank on my side, almost want to say I want to bring out the Emperor to go ahead and start making my cards cheaper. This Cultist is getting spoiled, man. But there we go. I can get rid of that tank and then use the Cultist. I've still got all my cards, or still got all my minions. Stronger than ever, if anything. This kind of, in a way, this Priest deck almost reminds me of the... Oh, nice. Almost reminds me a bit of the Druid ramp deck in the way that you have these very powerful cards that you can play early on. It's really the Deathlord, right? But that, like, the ability to have those cards at such an early stage, again, reminds me of the Druid deck, because it's very hard to answer when your opponent can put on these strong minions on the board early game. It can be difficult for controlled, it can be difficult for aggressive. Now this particular deck, it feels like it has a lot of versatility in what it can do so far. I'll be anxious to see what it does against a true aggressive deck. Like I think that was certainly an aggressive Mage, but I definitely want to try this deck out and face off against an aggressive hunter, a face hunter, or something like that, or maybe a mech mage. Mech mage is probably the most aggressive of the aggressive mage decks right now. What else? An aggressive paladin or whatever with muster for battle, quartermaster, stuff like that. That could be challenging. Definitely. This is, I think right now I'm gonna keep playing Priest, because it's fun. It's fun, but like I said, changing gears feels really good right now too, because for the past, I don't know, month now at least, like I've just been doing aggressive decks for every single class. So it's nice. I feel more relaxed when playing a slower class, and I'm thinking more about what I'm doing, which it certainly is a nice change, rather than just like throwing myself face first at enemies all the time. I want to know what you guys think. I think if you have been playing Hearthstone at all recently, then you've probably faced off against this deck, because I would say half of the priests that I've fought against, I think, were this type of control or variation of this of control priests. So let me know what you guys think about this deck, and share your experiences with playing as a priest or facing off against priests. I'm expecting to read like some rant comments too, like fucking priest is OP or something like that. Because those were my feelings as well. Like for the longest time, I was like, God, priests are OP. Like no matter what I play, like always priest is that frustrating class to play against, and I think that's because they play a lot of control. I don't remember ever playing against a priest that wasn't a control. But anyway, that's it for now, guys. Click the like button to support these Hearthstone videos here on the channel, and make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss the next episode. Thanks again for watching. My name is Kinetic, and I'll see you next time.